What's going on, guys? Your boy Deej Sports. Checking in here tonight. Got my notes here ready to go. I just want to thank y'all for the support. Those who have been watching the videos and just been, viewing and dropping some likes as well. Appreciate the support. Excuse me. Though it's not a lot, but again, just those who are watching the videos, man, I appreciate the support. It's what we do. We like to talk sports here, so hopefully you're getting the news and updates, and I'm giving y'all that as much as I need. Some quick news before we get started. De'Aaron Fox is gonna wear number 4 for the San Antonio Spurs, so he is officially a Spur and he is ready to go. Should make his debut shortly. Luka Doncic is expected to return from injury and make his season debut with the Los Angeles Lakers on Saturday when they take on the Pacers. And then we'll also, obviously, trade deadline day is Thursday at 3 o'clock for the NBA trade deadline. That is when teams can submit or make trades. That's the final day they can make trades before, obviously, that deadline concludes and closes. So just some quick hitters there. So today we're going to be talking about some trade news, and this time we're going to obviously talk about the NBA because, again, NBA trade deadline week is this week, and we'll see what moves will be made. But this is actually NFL news that we're going to be talking about today. So some big news. Myles Garrett, the star pass rusher for the Cleveland Browns, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. He has been probably the best edge rusher in the league, top 3 for sure. Got him, got Michael Parsons, TJ Watt, just among, those great edge rushers, Trey Hendrickson, Aiden Hutchinson. Like, we talk about these great edge rushers in the league, Nick Bosa, the Bosa brothers, and what have you. But Myles Garrett probably, even, if you want to say he's the best, I wouldn't be mad at you if you said so. I honestly think he legit has argument to be the best. He's just been super consistent over his last 8 seasons in Cleveland. He continues to make game-wrecking plays, terrorizes any opponent he is. He is a physical freaking athlete. Is incredible. He has requested, the big news, he has requested a trade. He is acting out of Cleveland. He released a public statement announcing his desire to be traded from Cleveland. And he will definitely have some suitors. Now, the Browns GM, Andrew Berry, released a statement shortly after saying that they have no desire to trade Myles Garrett and have no interest in trading Myles Garrett. So it's really going to be a standoff, right? And then how Adam Schefter put it on NFL Live, how will Myles Garrett, how far will he go? How far of the extent will he go to getting out of Cleveland? I think he will be traded. I think and I think to his trade demand makes sense because, Cleveland, again, they've been in quarterback purgatory for the last 30 years. The Deshaun Watson experiment has definitely not worked out. It's blown up in their face. He literally, too, just tore his Achilles 2 months after having surgery. Again, after he tore it again. I don't know what he was doing or how that happened, but he's probably going to miss the season again. And now he's getting paid a boatload of money, guaranteed money that the Browns owe him. And, it's not going to be easy for them to get rid of him or trade him. And they have the number 2 overall pick, but they finished last in their division. I think they only won like four games, I think, at most. Cleveland Browns, they're not good, and there's really kind of no direction, simply to put it, for that team. They need to get the quarterback situation. They're in prime position to get a quarterback, but does that really put them over the top in the AFC North when you have a Baltimore with Lamar Jackson competing, Joe Burrow, right? I expect him to be back in the playoffs next season. The Pittsburgh Steelers are always going to be winning. They always win 10 at least. They're always a winning team, and they always find a way, excuse me, to win games. So I think for Myles Garrett, this makes sense. I think, you want to go right and win, contend, and you could see his production even be better on a better team. So some teams that I would look for looking to get Myles Garrett or should attempt to trade for him one would be the Washington Commanders. I think and Swagoo, Marcus Spears on ESPN Live talked about this. Just the fit with Dan Quinn, that terrific defensive mind that he is. Right, he goes in there. They just traded for Marshawn Lattimore in the secondary. Now you add a physical, just freak at the edge rushing position to Myles Garrett. He immediately upgrades that defense. Probably makes them a top 5 defense, no doubt. And they've obviously too, they got some other good pieces like Frankie Louvu, Mike Sanders, still the other terrific corner. Their safeties are solid. They'll have to potentially to draft one as well. But the Commanders are in a really good position right now to be contenders in the NFC and contenders. Especially seeing how Jaden Daniels took that team playing as well as he did. And he's going to win Rookie of the Year for sure and could be a potential MVP. He's probably going to be an MVP favorite or candidate for sure heading into the season, right? People are going to have a lot of expectations for Jaden Daniels after the rookie season he had. So I think adding Myles Garrett to that defense, I think it will probably take Dorrance Armstrong, who they just signed last year. And obviously it's going to take some first round pick and some day 2 picks to definitely get Myles Garrett in there. But I think he immediately upgrades that defense and takes that team, even makes them more of a contender heading into next season. I think the Bears make a lot of sense. They have Montez Sweat. I think they don't trade him for Myles Garrett, but I think they pair Myles Garrett and Montez Sweat together. And I think it's the Khalil Mack trade all over again. Remember Khalil Mack in 2018, I think it was traded, signed a big extension. They traded a second and a fifth for him when he left the Raiders, and immediately they were the best defense in the league. After that, they've got a terrific corners in Jermaine Johnson, Kyler Gordon. I know they have Kevin Byard, I think, for another season. We'll see if he signs somewhere elsewhere or if he gets let go. Can't remember the other, Jaquan Brisker. They've got 2 great linebackers in Tremaine Edmonds and TJ Edwards. And they've got some young rising stars like a Zach Perkins or Javon Dexter. And then you have Montez Sweat. So you add Myles Garrett. And the Bears are looking to definitely improve. And they just hired Ben Johnson. So now the offense, expect that offense to take another step. Man, that would be a terrific matchup, in my opinion, with Myles Garrett. And again, I like it. Shout out to my boy Austin Esterline, who reposted it on his story, and I commented. I'm like, man, I like this. I like this trade. I like this idea. And he said it perfectly, and I, want to quote him too on what I said earlier. This is the Khalil Mack trade all over again. He's a Bears fan, by the way. And again, I like it for him. It makes sense. Pairing him with Montez Sweat or, him going on that defense, man, I think it makes them definitely potential favorites in excuse me, in that division. Another team, the Detroit Lions, another team in that division. What's that? The NFC the NFC East, I think that it. I can't. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But again, right, you have Aiden Hutchinson still on a rookie contract, so you can add Myles Garrett, and they would probably have to trade Zadarius Smith for him again, so that would be weird. So it probably doesn't really make sense. I know they just added Zadarius Smith, but it's just another team that could use more help on that team. And again, keeps them in contention because the Lions, even despite coming up short in the NFC divisional round, makes them contenders. I think the Bills make sense, right? Von Miller's going to be probably a free agent, or he's probably not going to be on the team this year. You have a young edge rusher in Gregory Rousseau, who's been consistent over the last few years, former first-round pick for them. And they've got Ed Oliver on that defense. DeMar Hamlin is coming off his best season as a pro. You have Christian Benford and Teron Johnson. You got pieces on that defense. I think you potentially maybe trade AJ Epinesa. You add him in a trade. And obviously you trade the first round picks and the day 2 picks. And that immediately upgrades the Bills defense that is looking to improve, right? Get after the quarterback and potentially try to be a piece to stop Patrick Mahomes, right? That's going to be the goal, right? Stopping and, beating Patrick Mahomes, helping Josh Allen finally beat Mahomes in the playoffs, who's 0-4 now. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Uh, the Falcons, right? The Falcons desperately need edge rush help. They have been looking for an edge rusher for years. They have not been able to get consistent pressure on the quarterback for the last several years. They need to do something at the edge rushing position this offseason, because until they do, their defense is just going to continue to not be able to stop anybody because they can't rush the passer. As good as A.J. Terrell is, as good as Jesse Bates is, as good as that secondary may be, when you can't get after the cornerback and the quarterback has time to throw, the defense is gonna give up big plays every time and not be efficient. So they need to potentially look into getting him. I doubt it that they make a move for him, simply because they're gonna be a little cap strapped too with Kirk Cousins' contract and having to pay him $65 million potentially in dead cap. So, but it's just a team, just an option. I see the Chargers too, right? I think too they maybe do. Khalil Mack is expected to return, but I think he's a free agent. And Joey Bosa, right? Joey Bosa, when healthy, is one of the best edge rushers in the game, but that's been the problem. He hasn't been healthy, hasn't been able to stay, healthy, and he's missed a lot of time over the last 3 out of 4 years. So if I'm them, I'd probably do a swamp with the Chargers, trade Joey Bosa for Myles Garrett, and do the day 2 picks and what have you, do swap and picks, and that immediately, and again, fits the philosophy of Jim Harbaugh. He wants big, tough, physical beasts on that defensive side, adds to the trenches, improves the trenches on that side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball. Chargers are another great team and too, right? They're a playoff contender. I think it immediately improves their defense, who have Derwin James on that defense, JT, or one of their edge rushers, number 45, can't remember his name, but they've got him, got some solid corners again, and I think it would, again, just immediately improve that team for sure. I think it's definitely an upgrade over Joey Bosa, because Joey Bosa, again, great edge rusher, but hasn't been able to stay healthy. Myles Garrett, he will be on the field when he's healthy, and he's barely, he's only missed like a few games in for the last several years. Myles Garrett is dependable, he's reliable, and he's available. So that's the big news for Myles Garrett. Now we're going to be talking about Cooper Kupp. The Rams, in a statement released by Cooper Kupp announced that the Rams are looking to trade him immediately. They want to get some assets back. They are looking to trade him. And, he obviously doesn't agree with the decision. He loves it in LA. But he's going to be looking to trade him somewhere where it's best for him and his family, after the Rams informed him that they are looking to trade him immediately. So they want to get him out of there. Nothing bad, of course, for Cooper Kupp. Great guy, great dude, great player. But simply put, so he hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since his Triple Crown year in 2021 when he won the Super Bowl, and also had a great game in the Super Bowl. So obviously in 2021 here, and I wrote this down in my notes, in 2021 he had 145 catches, 1,947 yards, and 16 touchdowns. Incredible season. Since then, though, he's missed 18 games. He's played in 33 games. So he's played he's missed 18 games over the last 3 years. He's played in 33 games, and he only has 201 catches. Still good numbers. 201 catches, 2,259 yards, and 17 touchdowns. So, again, just injuries. He's been battling ankle. He's dealt with ankle sprains and what have you, and it's just kept him out a long time, and he's getting paid a lot of money. So if they were to trade him, obviously the Rams, they would save a massive amount of cap space. And obviously too, right, Matthew Stafford, I think, is heading into his age 37 season. He's been in the league 2009. It's 2025. It's the 17th season that he'll play if Matthew Stafford, and I think he will. I think Matthew Stafford will return to the Rams for another year. Obviously, you're relying on him to stay healthy. Just a warrior who stays healthy, man, battles through injuries and what have you. But he's going to be losing one of his top guys. But the good news is they have Puka Nacua, they have Demarcus Robinson, Tutu Atwell. I think the Rams will look to drafting a wide receiver in maybe the first round, or they'll look in signing one with the cap space that they'll gain from trading Cooper Kupp. And Cooper Kupp, I think, is heading into his age 31, 32 season. So, he's getting older, and he's just, again, the talent is undeniable. Cooper Kupp, when he's healthy and he plays, Cooper Kupp is still one of the best wide receivers in the game, in my opinion. It's just, again, he's been injured, he's missed time, and you need to trade him and get draft assets. So my boy was telling, me and my boy Telly Bud, we was talking. I was telling him, again, I want to make this clear. I'm not downing Cooper Kupp. I'm not saying he's a bad player because when he plays, he's healthy, right? The numbers speak for itself. When he does play, he's productive. But that's been the problem when he plays, So and I think for them, it's been a consistent theme where he's missed games. He's missed 18 games over the last 3 years. That's about the average of 6 games per year. You need to trade him. He's getting older, get assets, and then find another guy younger that fits within the timeline next to Puka Nacua. Then you'll still, as long as Matthew Stafford, regardless of who it is, as long as he has really good receiving talent, Matthew Stafford is among the best. I think he's top 5 for sure. I've said it and I'll say it again. I think Matthew Stafford can even too play like he's the best quarterback in the league when he is rolling and has the weapons and the talent around him. All right. So obviously those are the NFL trade news, right? Some headliners, right? NFL again. NBA trade deadline day is the 6th on February 6th, this Thursday at 3:00. Right. I think again seeing where, right, some questions to ask, right, for the NBA trade deadline. Where will Jimmy Butler land? Will he get traded to the Suns? Will Nikola Vucevic, right, do the Bulls fully blow it up after they traded Levine? Do they trade Nikola Vucevic? Could Golden State make that move after Jimmy Butler, too, according to Shams? He does not intend on signing a long-term extension with the Warriors if he were to get traded there. So the Warriors are no longer pursuing him as of this moment. He is all in. He wants to go to Phoenix, and Phoenix is doing everything they can to try to potentially trade for him. Probably going to take a multi-team trade and finding a potential suitor for Bradley Beal, who has a no-trade clause. So we'll see where if that works out or if Jimmy goes elsewhere. Could the Dallas Mavericks be aggressive again and trade him for Jimmy Butler? Could they trade for Jimmy Butler? We'll see. Where will Jimmy land? That's the biggest one. Will Zion Williamson get traded? Do the Pelicans go rebuild especially after DeJounte Murray, prayers for him, he got injured in the Achilles injury, so he's going to miss the rest of the season. Do they rebuild and do they go in a different direction and move on from Zion Williamson? When Zion plays, the talent to me obviously is undeniable again with Zion, but he's unreliable. He has, you talk about a player, right? There was weight concerns and all that, what have you, with Luka. I don't buy that because even with the weight issues, Luka plays games. Like, obviously, he's been injured. He's been dealing with the calf injury, but Luka consistently has not been an injured player and an unreliable player. Luka shows up, and Luka is a top 3 player in this league. Zion Williamson, however, is a good player. I think at best can be a star player, but again, he's unreliable. He's supposed to be the franchise guy, and he doesn't play games. He misses a lot of games. He's missed more games than possible games played. Simple as that, and he's getting paid a lot of money. I think the Pelicans too, and they even put an incentive or like a protection in the contract. If he does not play games, he does not get paid. I think they should move in a different direction and look to trade and get assets for him, and you rebuild and you move forward. A trade idea that I liked, and I think Pick a Side. I watched Pick a Side, the podcast, and I like this trade idea. OKC, they're top of the West. They're like 37-8 right now, 37-9. Number 1 in the West. They obviously, I think right now they're playing well. They're one of the best defensive teams in the game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is an MVP favorite right now, or is an top 3 MVP candidate. they could use some more offense, right? J-Dub is productive. He gives you 21 a night, and he is their one of their top offensive player. He is their second best offensive player, but OKC, they need more help on that side of the ball. So do they potentially go after, and this is too an idea, according to Pick Aside, one of their members, do they go after a Cam Johnson? Will Cam Johnson, right, the Nets, they've already announced everybody is available for trade. They've already traded Dennis Schroeder. They traded Mikal Bridges in the offseason. Do they continue to blow that team up and get more picks, get a stockpile of picks, and you trade Cam Johnson? And OKC, I think, would be a great fit. I think you trade like Isaiah Joe, maybe a first-round pick, and you add Cam Johnson, a tall wing who can shoot, score, and has the length to defend. I think that would be a great trade for them. He's in the prime of his career, and I think he would really be productive and give Shea and that OKC team some more offense and some more scoring and some more three-point shooting that they desperately need if they're going to remain top of the West and be definitely, and I think they're contenders still. I think they have a realistic chance right now to be in the NBA championship, NBA finals. They just need some more help. And do the Lakers, right? They need a big. It is a huge and glaring need. They need size. They need a 5. Now that Anthony Davis is out of the door, so they've got a 2031 first round pick available for trade. I think Jared Vanderbilt, Gabe Vincent, and who else do they have? I think Jackson Hayes, their young center right now, that's going to be starting for the time being until they potentially make a trade or, trade him or involve him in a trade. They need to improve, their defense. They need to improve that 5, their interior defense. I think they've got defense right now still with like Dorian Finney-Smith, and they have Jared Vanderbilt for the time being, but do they use Vanderbilt in a big trade to get a center like a Nick Claxton, or do they add a Jonas Valanciunas, who's been rumored to the Lakers for a while now? Again, they just need more help. They desperately need a big if they are going to fully contend now with Luka and LeBron. And I think the Lakers right now, with even Luka on the team right now, I think they're definitely still going to be among the top teams in the West. And I think, if they make another deal and they get that big and add that defense around Luka and LeBron, I see the Lakers being contenders as well in the West. But that is all for today. Thank y'all for watching this video. Hope y'all stay safe and have a great day, great night. Stay blessed. Peace.